It can at the end.
You've got to keep that one on a
Yeah,
tight
well,
line.
you know, it's all right. You can say it's a jazz Odyssey in the end, but you know that was recorded about 3 o'clock in the morning. It's a thing that I kind of sort of noticed in Morocco that at sunset when the planes were flying over, they looked like burning balls, and we were all pretty wired, and it was quite an intense moment. We just did that one take. You know, I said, give it a Charlie Parker vibe. And he's our mate, and you know, he's not like a session musician or anything. He's like, you know, very close to the band musically, and he just went in there and did it. And you know, we've actually edited it down from it's about half the length that it was.
Yeah, it did actually last all night. Saxophone solo.
So we're going to end. But I think we like it because it does. You do get to a point with it, and you did, especially when it was longer, where you know, you can see people tentatively going, I want to get out of here. This is from a really enjoyable experience into a nightmare. And, you know, come on, man. We gave you Sweet Song the song before. You know, you've got to give us a bit of freedom to... We know what I mean, though. Otherwise, it
is interesting watching people when they're listening to that
easy.
song, because they're not quite... They're never quite sure where it's going to go, and then all of a sudden, the sax comes in and they start looking at you.
You have to be a fan of bebop
now
to like that, and if you're not, it's really difficult to get into it. It really is. But if you like bebop, you love it, because it is actually a really good bebop solo.
Well, it's the most simplistic thing we've ever done for the first half of it. You know, it's a really straightforward call and response Cro-Magnon thing. You know, it's very, very...
I mean, at one point, there was a point on this
caveman
record where we had
music.
all these brilliant backing tracks, and I thought, fuck it, should we just give them to fucking, you know, Exhibit? Do you know what I mean? I mean, you could start that, it could be a brilliant, you know... There was a lot of fantastic, potentially groundbreaking hip-hop vibes going on, but, you know, believe me.
No idea what you're talking about.
I think you can tell by listening to it.
Yeah, I mean, they're blatantly obvious, the tracks that Norman's worked on, because they've got, like, you know, they've got a sort of attention to a sort of clubby beat that some of the other tracks obviously don't have. But I think what we did totally unite on was The Clash, and it was like, you know, a very sad moment when a couple of months later Joe Strummer died, because I think it just meant, in our heads, it was just like, you know, it'd be nice to have a couple of tracks on the record which just say to all those people who we love, you know, we love you. The Clash sort of influence now, it's so much more sort of relevant than it was when we made it, if you know what I mean. Then it was just, we were in that vibe. We were in the desert. We had a train track like a couple of miles away from us. You know, we were in Combat Rock. That's where we were. We were in that place. So you couldn't avoid it, even if you wanted to. And also we were listening to Sandinista, you know, and Combat Rock as well. So that and we just felt very natural doing that. It's just such a shame that, you know, it's just a real shame. Joe Strummer is just, you know, really sad, really sad. And the orchestral element is Graham. That was his last swan song in Blur. Really, that was the one moment when we tried to repair everything and, you know, return to what we were. It was one take, really, wasn't it? It was just exactly one take, I had the song on the piano, and we just sat around and did it, and it was like, ooh, a bit upsetting. This really. So his guitar line is beautiful in it, you know, and it's, you know, but I think it's a very beautiful way to end, and it's the end as we were. So do you know what I mean? It's like we could have hidden it or whatever, but no, it's just like, you know, that was a good moment, and I'm just very proud that was the last thing we did, all four of us together, you know.
Hi, this is Dave.
This is Damon Albarn.
I'm Alex James from Blur, and you're listening to Tracks from Think Tank. Thank you very much.